Over the past few decades, China's activities in Africa have attracted widespread attention and discussion. Some Western critics believe that China is pursuing debt trap diplomacy in Africa. There are also some supporters who believe that Chinese investment has brought necessary development opportunities to Africa, especially in infrastructure construction. Statistics show that since the beginning of the 21st century, China has invested more than $700 billion in Africa. These funds are mainly used to build roads, bridges, hospitals, and schools, promoting the socio-economic development of African countries. However, among the many investment projects, there are also some important projects that China provides free assistance to African countries. In Ghana, Africa, China launched a major public welfare project and built more than 1,000 wells for free in rural areas. Although this is not a large-scale project, these wells now benefit approximately 500,000 local residents in Ghana, improving the living conditions of many people. The local people in Ghana express great welcome and gratitude for everything China has done. But what we don't understand is why China chose to help Ghana build water well facilities for free, and what did China get behind this? In today's video, we'll try to uncover the truth behind this. If you like our video content, please click to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can receive all our latest video content. Now, let's get into today's topic. Ghana is a country in West Africa and one of the poorest countries in the world. However, this country, with an area of 230,000 square kilometers, has a population of 32 million. The average population density exceeds 130 people per square kilometer, which is quite high in West Africa. In this country, mining plays an important role in the national economy, and the development of mineral resources directly contributes approximately 15% to the gross domestic product. The main mineral resources include gold, diamonds, bauxite, manganese, ore, and oil, among which the mining of gold is particularly prominent. Therefore, Ghana was also called the Gold Coast in history. In fact, Ghana is the second largest gold producer in Africa, after South Africa. It is estimated that Ghana's gold reserves reach 2 billion ounces, with proven reserves approaching 200 million ounces. In addition to gold, Ghana's diamond reserves are also very rich, with about 100 million carats. The main producing areas are located in the Bilam Valley in the east and the Banksa Valley in the west, which makes Ghana rank 4th in global diamond production. In addition, bauxite is also one of Ghana's important minerals, with reserves of approximately 900 million tons, mainly distributed in the Owasso and Koko regions. But historically, Ghana attracted the greedy eyes of European colonists because of its rich mineral resources. This external encroachment not only led to long-term colonial rule, but also caused Ghana to lose a large amount of resources and political autonomy. Under colonial rule, the Ghanaian people were reduced to laborers and slaves on their own land, living in extreme exploitation and oppression. It was not until March 1957 that Ghana finally declared independence and became the first country in sub-Saharan Africa to get rid of colonial rule. Although this was a historic victory, due to overexploitation and mismanagement of resources by European colonists, Ghana's mineral resources were almost exhausted, economic development stagnated, and poverty became increasingly serious. According to statistics, there are currently 850,000 people living below the poverty line in Ghana, 28% of whom are extremely poor, with an average daily income of only $1.25. By 1983, Ghana experienced a devastating drought that destroyed almost all crops and pastures, causing extremely serious food shortages and water crises. Farmland dries up, crops wither and die. Livestock die because they cannot find enough feed. Under this situation, many rural areas still seriously lack clean water sources, and many villagers can only rely on local ponds to obtain domestic water. In some remote areas of Ghana, access to clean water can be an extremely challenging task. Residents often need to send 5 family members to work together to walk to the pond outside the village to fetch water every day. In order to meet the family's water needs for a day, they need to carry a heavy water basin on their heads and walk through shoulder-high grass. Such a trip would require them to make at least 3 round trips. It takes a lot of time and is extremely tiring for everyone. What's more serious is that because animals around the pond also come here to drink and defecate, coupled with pollution after rain, the water quality is often turbid. Such water sources are not only unsuitable for direct drinking, but also become a breeding ground for the spread of infectious diseases. The resulting frequent occurrence of waterborne diseases seriously threatens the health and life safety of local people. Although, the local government tried to solve the water source problem by drilling wells. But Ghana's water table is usually deep, requiring drilling at least 60 meters deep to find the source. Due to the lack of advanced geological exploration technology and equipment, it is difficult to accurately survey underground water veins in Ghana, making well drilling full of uncertainties and challenges. But in 2015, this situation changed dramatically. In September 2013, China officially launched the Belt and Road Initiative, which includes 2 important cooperation initiatives: the construction of the new Silk Road Economic Belt and the 21st Century Maritime Silk Road. This ambitious plan aims to actively expand economic cooperation with partner countries by leveraging existing bilateral and multilateral mechanisms between China and relevant countries, and relying on effective regional cooperation platforms. As one of the first regions to respond to and join the Belt and Road Initiative, Africa has naturally become one of the first regions to benefit from it. In November 2015, in response to the long-term drinking water difficulties faced by rural areas in Ghana, the Chinese government decided to provide free assistance to build 1,000 wells in 832 villages in 6 provinces of Ghana. Since this project is related to tens of thousands of lives in the country, in December 2015, China began to send relevant engineering teams to Ghana to start building water wells. In Ghana, both the complex and diverse topography and harsh climatic conditions have brought huge challenges to water well construction projects. Especially during the rainy season, persistent flooding and muddy roads greatly increase the difficulty of construction. Transportation has also become a major challenge as construction equipment needs to be transported to remote villages spread out over a wide area with difficult traffic conditions. However, the Chinese construction team bravely faced these difficulties with its firm determination and excellent technical level. During the project, they encountered areas with unusually low groundwater levels, sometimes requiring wells to be drilled to depths of more than 100 meters. In other areas, complex geological structures severely limited construction progress. Despite these challenges, Chinese workers persevered and worked overtime day and night to ensure the project was completed on time. In addition to drilling wells here, Chinese engineers also introduced advanced well drilling equipment and technology to ensure that the water quality of each well reaches safe drinking standards. To make it easier for villagers to obtain clean water, Chinese engineers installed hand pumps in every well. After just 2 years, China successfully completed the construction of 1,029 wells in Ghana, exceeding the original target of 1,000 wells. Now, 500,000 villagers in Ghana can get clean water sources outside their homes, and at the same time, health problems caused by the use of unclean water sources have been reduced. In order to thank China for its contribution in building water well facilities, the Ghanaian government signed a major bauxite cooperation agreement with China in 2018. As an important industrial raw material, bauxite plays a pivotal role in global manufacturing, especially in the rapidly developing automobile, aviation, and packaging industries. According to this agreement, China will enjoy 5% of the bauxite mining rights in Ghana. Ghana is very rich in bauxite resources. The total proven resources exceed 900 million tons, and the international market valuation may be as high as more than 46 billion US dollars. According to expert estimates, this cooperative mining agreement is expected to bring subsequent economic benefits of more than 2.3 billion US dollars to China. It is worth mentioning that Western humanitarian relief agencies have also provided emergency food and medical assistance to Ghana, which played a certain role in alleviating the immediate crisis. However, these rescue measures are often temporary and cannot fundamentally solve long-term development problems. What is even more serious is that aid from Western countries usually comes with political conditions, and these conditions may not be completely consistent with the independent development direction of African countries. In this context, Western rescue and assistance actions are often seen as a means of intervening in Africa's internal affairs, and their ultimate purpose may be to serve the political and economic interests of the provider country. In contrast, China's aid pays more attention to respecting the autonomy and actual needs of African countries. In addition, in the Matabeleland South Province of Zimbabwe in Africa, the region has long faced water shortages due to the extreme drought of the country's geological conditions and climate. Wells built in the early years have dried up due to falling groundwater levels, further exacerbating local water stress. In view of this situation, while assisting Ghana in building water wells, the Chinese government also extended its assistance to Zimbabwe. China has assisted in the construction of 1,000 wells in 10 provinces across Zimbabwe. Most of these wells have been built in key locations such as rural areas, schools, hospitals, and clinics. Through this initiative, more than 400,000 Zimbabweans have benefited, accounting for approximately 3% of the country's population. Currently, in many African countries, China's aid is widely viewed as a more sustainable form of cooperation without political strings attached. But for China, aiding in the construction of water wells in Africa is not only an international responsibility, but also a true embodiment of the international cooperation model with Chinese characteristics. To not miss out on our future projects and news updates, please make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. We will continue to provide you with more exciting and interesting content.